Hi, parents. Today I want to share with you a little bit about Treehouse and how your student's dyslexia intervention is going to be reported. We do not appear on the report card as a class, and so their progress for the 9 weeks will be displayed on Treehouse under their Learning Progression tab, which we'll dive into in a second. The information I'm sharing with today is basically how teachers report on their classes daily and on each of the assignments. So it's great for learning about all the things you can find in Treehouse. And our progress monitoring in dyslexia is always available for you to see as your child is going through the year. So when you log into Treehouse and you select your child, if you have multiple children, you probably end up on this progress page. This is where the report card shows under performance. This is where you can click into each one of your students' classes, see what information is being posted for your child, and nice little indicators of things that are still due and active for your child. The next tab you're probably very interested in is the assignments tab. This is where the assignments will individually display, and you can click in and actually get the assignment instructions and things like that for assignments that are still open for your child. Toggling the toggling the filters does help in finding certain assignments. There's also the nice missing assignments button that can help you keep track of what your child is needing to finish. Hopefully, though, it is most often just needing to hit submit for an assignment done in class, as that can be a prominent issue sometimes. All right, my favorite tab and where we spend most of our time is in the learning progression. So the learning progression is where you see the daily skills and the reporting on that. You can select the class. In this case, I'm in my elementary dyslexia class, and we can see the skills that we're working on at this level. We want to pay attention to this side over here, the most recent evidence and the trend line. So this will report the most recent assessment of that skill, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then trend line will have a little arrow pointing up or down that dives into what's the trend over all the assignments that have been on that skill. To dig into a particular skill and see teacher feedback or things that you might want to know, just click on the highlighted skill name. The screen will slide open, and then you'll see each assignment here and when it was done. And some specific feedback on this. So this skill is I can use letter sound relationships to help me read. This student is able to read correctly those letter sounds 87% of the time and 100% of their high frequency words. And I've given feedback on what specific patterns are giving them trouble that we'll continue to practice. And that way, as the assignments stack up, we can see if we're having the same skills, if we're growing in that, and all that good information there. And each assignment will be listed out through this piece. And you can check that on each skill. So how do you know what that means your child should know, where they're going? The mastery check will be titled with a volume number and a lesson number. So volume 2, lesson 13 will be the title of your mastery check. If you go back to that progress page and click on their dyslexia class, you'll be taken to their bulletin board page. And that bulletin board page has a syllabus or lesson order of what your child is most likely progressing through in our program. The bulletin board is a very useful page, is where your child's accommodations live. In elementary school, it is primarily used for the parent to help support their child and access those accommodations and things and tips to help their child. In middle and high school, the dyslexia page is geared more towards your child to access their accommodations, good tips, technology that could be helpful, just things that could be resourceful to them. And of course, parents have access to it to support that as well. But if you click on the lesson order there, it'll download a PDF that is our Reading by Design progress report. And so if we're in Volume 2, Lesson 13, we would have learned all our silent E, all of these particular sounds and rules, and of course, all of Volume 1. And then you can see where you're going to go from there. And it just shows you all the little things your child needs to learn versus sounds and syllabication that we're working on. So I hope that keeps you informed about where a child is in their progress. Again, I will resend this information out every 9 weeks, but the learning progression is updated as your child goes through a mastery check. So it's always there for you, and I'm happy to answer questions and talk to you about your child's progress. Thanks.